Yeah, just Sveno, Mick here. Just replying back to Deborah Azar. How you going today, Deborah? Right, quick run through on what I do. Rightio. This is on a daily basis too. So first up, I will grease. I've taken the guards off here, the plastic guards, and just put that screw and that screw back in. It just undoes with that and that, because I like seeing when I'm greased, and then plus I blow it off. So a grease nipple down here, a plastic grease nipple on the axle. Now there's only bushes in these axles, so you should grease that daily. It's what I do because you've got a fair few joints around the front here. So grease nipple, grease nipple, grease nipple, grease nipple under here, here, and the same on the other side. So they get greased daily on this Rover. And you just see, you pump it till the grease just comes out. You don't have to overdo it. I'm about to clean this off. I've given it an oil change this morning. Within 150 hours, 8mm. Check these. They're plastic, so don't tighten them up too much, but you can nip these up fairly tight, because you will feel flex in the front end. If you go over things unsquare, then it's only bound to loosen those off. So you just go over your bolts. Daily, obviously fuel, oil on the level, air filter, daily if you're in dusty conditions. There's a foam band that goes around that. I always put a rim of grease around the base of the filter, and that's what I do. I'm not saying you do that, but if you have a look here, see a rim of grease, and no infiltration whatsoever into the air tract. And that there, the foam seal, you've got to make sure it sits all back up in on the lip on the filter. Motorcycle fluid, air filter fluid, or really thin engine oil, squeeze it right out. That's what I do. Flat level ground, dipstick, clean it off, make sure there's no dirt in and around where it seals. Seals with a rubber O-ring, as you can see. Clean that off, dip it, pull it straight back out, have it up to the 2 marks, always have it on the full mark on level ground. It's essential, in my opinion, that you change the engine oil every 50 hours. Don't do 50 hours in a year, change it once a year. That air filter in dusty conditions is really, in my opinion, a daily thing. Just that foam guard, foam ring, oil filter, every oil change. There it is down there, man. A lot of people won't run up any more than about 50 hours. I've done this morning. I was around about 1.8 litres of engine oil. Just go to your dealer for the correct oil. Rightio. Don't stand on the deck. Now, I'm in my thongs. It's not the way to do it, but I'm just doing it as a quick demo. That chute, I always leave that chute down when I mow. I mow round trees on the left hand side if I can. Extremely important not to hit rocks with your deck. You will put dents in. You'll destroy your deck, you'll destroy your spindles, which is this thing here. I've also taken the covers off that, so I can blow that out. I'm not saying to anyone else do it, but that's what I do. That one's exposed, but that doesn't go when you're off the mower, it'll cut out. Rightio. You always need to keep your underside of your deck clean. That's very important. And also, when you're finished mowing with it, blow it all off. Blow all off in here, blow off down in here, because that's actually a fan, and that's all ducted all in through here. So it's always good to keep that clean, and little leaf, grass. Very important, because these engines will overheat if that's clogged up with grass. Don't worry, you can cook air-cooled engines. They run at a higher temperature than water-cooled engines, when a water-cooled engine's getting hot, you'll see steam blowing out everywhere. Air-cooled engines, you won't even know you're cooking them. If they get filled all up in there with grass, you'll cook them, you'll stuff them. And that's why it's important the oil changing regularly too, because the oil is under extreme conditions. Lower in and out around the pumps, up and under there, keep them clean. As you can see, I do. This is done 155 hours. Rightio. Quickly, what we've got here is we've got the throttle. I always start on about half throttle, pull up the choke. So start half throttle, pull up the choke. That's your off on for your blade engagement and disengagement. And you will see, I'll show you when you fire it up and you flick that right around and flick it back, you'll see the red light glow up. That means you can reverse with the blades engaged. Now I'm just going to fire it up. So you got to, that's just forward, reverse, it's easily explained. Forward, reverse, and you always do that smooth operation. You don't want to be shocking everything. There's the cruise control down there. So, and it also holds the brake on. That's brake engaged. To get the brake off, there's your brake. To get the brake off, push it in. To start it, and don't leave it level on level ground. Don't leave that brake on, in my opinion, because it stretches everything. But always leave the machine parked and chopped on level ground, key out. So we'll fire it up. So you can see, you'll hear the engine run. I had the choke on, you'll hear the engine run fluffy, and I'll just show you. Brake on. Now I'm going to quickly have to cut this off because this is 8 minutes already. So what'll happen is, if you don't flick that back and flick that button and the light doesn't come on, if you don't do that, and you've got your blades engaged, as soon as you go in reverse, the blades will cut out. It's a safety mechanism. Rightio. So what we're going to do now is I'll show you that. Is not unlike a car to drive forward and back. Oh, do not stand on the deck when you hop off. Always dismount on the left hand side because you haven't got the chute to worry about, because those decks aren't built to be stood on. Park on level ground. I always mow in longer grass, well, depending on how long it is. But most of my high quality lawns I'll mow between 5 and 6, and the real high quality stuff that's billiard table level down to 4. But that's mainly 5, and in summer it's hard to keep it down to 5 because the grass grows that quick up here in the Blackwell range. So I'd say mostly mow at 6, and don't overload your belts. If you're in heavy going, do half deck width cuts, with it on as high as it'll go, because the more you load that deck up, same with wet grass, you'll destroy your belt. That belt's done 155 hours, still as good as. It's all about smooth operation completely smooth operation. Be careful of your surroundings. Don't mow with people around. Idle it right back. If there are people around and they walk past, just say, never face your deck towards the road. Never cut grass over rocks to destroy the deck. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you'll kill someone with a rock. It's the last thing you want. So these things are, I've been mowing now for near 25 years in a professional basis, mowing my own business for just on 2 years. And that time I've done a lot of brush cutting, a lot of mowing. I have not even broke a car window. I'm extremely careful, very aware of my surroundings. Because guess what, you break stuff, it costs you. Insurance claims, insurance goes up, every other thing. It's just best to take time, be completely aware of your surroundings. In my opinion, it's completely very important to get these pumps serviced, these hydros. They say they're not serviceable, but they actually are. They pop them out, my mower shop pops them out, 70 hours, they do an oil change, and every 250 hours after there, I get mine done at 200, every 200, or once a year. Pumps are about $800 or $900 each, I think, in Australia. So, you know, if you can get the difference between getting 350 hours or 600 or 700 hours at $200 an oil change, that's both sides, out with them. It's not a big heap of oil. Oil's cheap, pumps aren't. Same the engine. Oil's cheap, engines aren't. 50-hour oil changes, intervals in my opinion. That's what I do anyhow. Filter at the same time, got a genuine Kohler filter on there, and that all stacks up with your warranties. Oil's cheap, filter's cheap, engines aren't. You have that practice. Same with your cars. I will change my car myself. Magnatech, Castrol Magnatech, oil filter every 5,000 kilometres. My old V8 Ford I've got, it might only do sometimes not even 500 kilometres a year. Gets changed oil once a year. Oil filter, oil. Engine oil's cheap, engines aren't. You'll hear that over and over from me. That's about all I'm going to do with the walk around. I always mow with these particular ones with them up. I don't like having my arm stuck on them. Also, when you're mowing, it's best to reverse or go forward and then steer. As in, I mean, don't just get there and wrench. I'll show you. There's my Rover RTZ S46, which is a 46 inch. That's my opinion of how I look after my mower. Like I say, I'll blow all this out, blow this off from when I shift from one property to the next. I also blow out up in here, because that's been mowing here this morning on my lawn, fiddling around. See that? I try not to mow in wet as much as I can, but sometimes I've got to. But like I say, the life of a deck is to keep it clean, not hose it. I run mine up on a ramp and just scrape the grass off with my glove to keep that away. Keep the wet grass if I'm mowing in grass, but you don't get as good a finish. So that is spotlessly clean underneath. See that? There's nothing on the hand. That's how I do things. Svenson's Mowing and Grounds Maintenance. Get the blower up in here. I don't wet bearings in that down. I never hose the deck off. They've got a hose port, but I never use it. Don't hit things. You'll get, I got 100 plus hours out of the last blades. These have got around the 50 hours on. That's not a genuine Cub Cadet Rover blade, but I probably will go genuine Club Cadet Rover next, because they're a bigger blade. I think they probably really do cut, so I'll get Big Cole to get us in some genuine ones. My humble opinion. Like I say, it's all about taking it easy, just maintaining it, blowing it off, blowing those pumps off, get the grass off them, get the grass off them, get the grass off them. And if you're doing a lot of mowing in dusty conditions, or like long grass, it's very hot, pull it up, just get your blower out, even with it idling, just get there and blow that out. That's what I do. I'll never have trouble. I haven't had engine failure. I blow the pumps down from here. And this little lightweight, supposedly non-commercial mower, is doing a sterling job for me. Like I say, I look after it. I don't overcharge of my hourly rate because it's not a $15,000 or $20,000 heavy duty mower, so I charge accordingly, but I still mow at a good rate. So at the end of the day, if it's a $150 lawn, what's it matter if I'm charging $150 or someone's getting around it twice as quick with their twice as fast mower? This thing will mow at a good rate. But just say they're still charging $150 to mow the same lawn, but with a $25,000 mower, it's all relevant. I couldn't afford, I would have liked to have bought a big heavy duty Hustler or Cub Cadet around the $15,000 to $13,000 to $15,000 mark, but I couldn't afford it. So it's an old saying, you've got to crawl before you can walk. Most people do. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, so everything I buy I've got to pay for myself. So that's my little driving tips, and I'm not saying that that's the right way to do it, but it's the way I do it. But it's all about safety. Safety, safety, safety. And if you see the backs of my hands, I work in gloves. I've got white skin. That's sunspots. I've worked in gloves, leather gloves and other gloves for many years. I'm still getting things burned off. Long sleeve shirts, long pants. She's all about trying to, same with the body as same as the machine. Treat the body as good as you can, put good food in it, and no different to this. Maintain it, look after it, don't flog the bejesus out of it, and you should get good service. And these things have got a limited 3-year warranty service in here, I think it is. Well, this one, the engine has in here. I have read the the Rover one, I'm not sure, this is in Australia. But the machines themselves, like I say, for a lightweight mower, they're a very good mower. Just look after it, and blow it all off, grease it up. Like I say, this is a great setup. There is points to wear, and if they're running dry on grease, they will wear. I'm going to leave it at that. That's how I operate with Svenson's Mowing and Grounds Maintenance. So Deborah, I hope that's helped you out. So just take your time, get used to it. Don't push it hard into long grass and keep pushing into hard long grass and wet grass and loading it right up. Just feed it in easy. Hubby's just got to feed, just not get overexcited with it. And if the grass is long, do half, 2/3 width cuts to cut it down. And rocks are damage. So mow it high, just completely steer clear of rocks if you can. And brush cut that out. And then once you get it down, pile the rocks up. And because, like I said, rocks are damage. But I'm going to leave it at that. You all have a really nice day. This is a wonderful planet we live on. We try and look after as much as we can, and be nice to our fellow humans. So something I'm just trying to put into my Sveno mix, because I do believe that we're in a changing times, and we've got an aggressive planet happening now. Things are, with social media and everything else, things aren't as I seen when I was growing up, that's for sure. So I like to try and treat people as good as I can, and expect to be treated back the same. Sveno Mick from Svenson's Mowing and Grounds Maintenance. That's 20 minutes. Sveno Mick out. Give it a thumbs up if you're happy with it. Like and subscribe. Sveno Mick out.